My beer goal is to have a beer with my buddies, and I've got a couple of really special guests with me. We've got representing Oakland, California, all the way in Northern California. We've got
What's
my
up?
good dear friend, Mr. Sam Jack, the California Crusher himself. Say cheers.
Cheers. I got some aliases. As a DJ, you can call me DJ Lumberjack. That's my Facebook profile. As a faux professional wrestler, the heavyweight champion of my own universe, he is the California Crusher, defender of this great republic of California.
All right,
By the
cheers,
way,
Sam. We've got we've got a very special guest with us tonight.
Absolutely.
We've got all the way from the United Kingdom. It's 2 a.m. over there, and he's live streaming into us from Lord's Brewing. We've got John Slumbers, one of the founders of Lord's Brewing, doing the Lord's work, brewing the beer. Cheers, sir. Welcome to Drinking Buddies.
Cheers. Sorry about that. I had a bit of problem with my sound because the kids are all in bed. I thought,
I hear you. Yeah, you don't wake them
I
up.
put my earphones, and then my computer went mental, and then wouldn't play any sound at all.
It's all good. There might be some screaming and yelling in the other room here, and also I have children, so we totally understand.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we're literally, I think this is our first international cheers. We're literally hashtag Beer the World together. So I'm very excited. Thank you guys from California to the UK. Cheers. And everybody watching at home, please crack open a beer and let us know where you're drinking from. Let us know where you're drinking from and what you're drinking. And we'll give you a shout out in a little bit. So, John, how's everything going with Lord's Brewing? How are you guys holding up? And what are you drinking tonight?
So, I brought loads of beer, actually. I'm drinking all sorts of stuff. I've got, at the moment, I'm drinking a Super Session IPA. So, I'm on with that. And then we'll probably move into something different. I brought, just for you guys, some cask conditioned. This is another session IPA called Malamute. So these ones are obviously not kegged, so very different to the rest of our stuff. And I even brought one of our ones that we did with an American chill hop artist called Brock Berrigan from New York. So yeah, I've got a few going on.
Literally brewing the world together. That's awesome.
Yeah. As for the brewery and the situation we're in now, we have lost a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
But we just got to keep going, and we're not gonna give up, and we've got good backing, and we'll just keep going. And the hard bit is keeping all the staff that we had. That's the hard bit. So hopefully we won't have to let anybody go. But
are you doing like home delivery or anything like that? Or are you
curbside pickup? That's the big thing out here in the States.
Yeah, so we're doing home delivery. Luckily, so in the UK, I don't know what it's like in America, but we have rules and
lots of rules.
Oh man, we got all sorts of stuff. So just by chance, because we had a tap room, we decided to get an off license as well, and that allows you to do home delivery. So we were one of a handful of breweries in our area that actually had that. So we were able to do home delivery without breaking any rules. So yeah, it's pretty good.
That's great. Yeah, I've noticed even here in California, they've opened up like normally like any kind of like alcohol thing, very restricted. You couldn't, about where you could like have it delivered. Now you can get it delivered with food. You can get it delivered like in all sorts of ways. I'm drinking I'm here in Los Angeles, Southern California. I've got from Inglewood, California, the Expatriate IPA, which from one of my favorite breweries, which is Three Weavers Brewing in Inglewood. So check that out, everybody in Southern California. And I think they're doing curbside pickup, but yeah. So yeah,
that's cool.
Very cool, very good. This is a good, this is a great IPA. But but that's great to hear that people are really innovating like different ways to get the beer out to the people. And I think it's up to the beer fans like me and Sam. We have to get out there and drink more beer. Like we have to do our part to keep you guys going. And I called everybody from Beer Goals to go out, pick up a local beer.
Absolutely.
To our friends in England, get some Lord's Brewing, doing the Lord's work, brewing the beers. So please, cheers to the brewers. Cheers to you guys.
Yeah, and if I can shout out some local ones.
I'll take that.
I mean, as you know, the microbrew scene is just exploded everywhere. But here in the Bay Area, I want to shout out some Faction Brewing, Alameda Island Brewing, Alamo Draft House. They used to have awesome movie nights. So I know everyone in the local area is missing that and hoping that they can return to that. There's a ton. Oakland United is another one. Tons in Oakland, and there was just such a great scene, not only in San Francisco, but then Oakland, and then you go down to San Jose. The Bay Area is a lot like LA in that matter, where you have LA, but then you have all the other communities around it, and within those communities, Orange County, as you said, Inglewood area, Long Beach, all those little local, hyper local areas have their own breweries, and I want to shout them out, and especially Alameda because it's on Faction Brewery specifically. It's on this old naval base and right on the edge of the island, and it faces west. So it's got this beautiful patio, and you just see both bridges and the skyline of San Francisco with the bay across it.
That sounds amazing.
Wow.
As I can Bob Ross that image into your head right there. So
speaking of good beer artwork, I was just mentioning, I love in the background there, John, you have that beer bookshelf. So I don't know if you guys have
good
seen
lighting
this, but
too, by the way. Great lighting.
Yeah, so like all the TV shows now, like everybody, the presenters have like in the background, they have this like amazing bookshelf. And I think John actually has like the beer equivalent of that. He's got his beer stuff back there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Shall I share a couple of little things I've got?
Sure, yeah, let's check it out. All right.
While he's getting that ready, I just want to do some quick promos. So I am a content creator. I run a YouTube channel called viralmedianetwork.com. Viral Media Network. The channel is Viral Media Network 415, but we have a podcast on there. We do a live vlog every Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure to tune in that. Please follow my channel. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Viral Media Network. Instagram is viralmedia.network, viralmedia.network. So you can just hit me up on Facebook too. So thanks for that. And Phil and I have been talking about cross-promoting each other and doing content together because we know each other way back from college. So look for more.
My dear friend, I miss you, Sam. I miss
you too. And look for more content development between Viral Media Network and Beer Goals. So I'm stoked for that, and I'm stoked to meet a new friend, John. So cheers, John.
Yeah,
all right. Cheers to that.
Cheers. I've got a new beer here.
Oh, that looks gorgeous. That's a gorgeous beer. I just saw you brought out, it was like a horn. Is that like a drinking horn? Show us the.
Oh yeah. So this is a proper drinking horn.
Wow!
Look at that bad boy. And
you can tell my Vikingness is getting excited.
Yeah, I saw it. So what's good about this is I went to a beer festival a while ago and I took all my stuff, and it's at York. I don't know if you heard of York.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so
as in New York, that's the old York.
Yeah, that's right, the original. Slightly more worn out looking and not quite so extravagant. But basically, I got this at another beer festival and I thought I'll take it with me. And it's got a little holster. I put it on my belt. I got some weird looks. And this will hold 1.5 liters of beer. Wow. So I was drinking out of this, but then I was starting to get a bit wayward. But the best bit is they have like outside taps that you can wash them out with water. So what I did is I washed them out and I drank about 3 liters of water, and everybody thought I was just tanking it through the beer. No, I wasn't at all. I was trying to save it up.
I was going to ask, are you actually supposed to drink the blood of your victims through that horn? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah,
like Game of Thrones style. It's like, I have vanquished you.
Yeah. One of our friends Brew York, and he's got Viking DNA, and so me and him have got drinking horns and have got carried away quite a few times at the beer festivals. But also, so I've got this. Where is it?
That's amazing. What's the best beer to fill that with? What would you fill that horn with?
Right. Well, the thing is with a beer horn, it's a bit like drinking a beer through an old shoe.
So it's disgusting. It's actually gross. Yeah,
it ruins it. But so you just put any old thing in there. Just make sure it's really strong and it's got plenty of flavour, because to mask the It is like drinking it out beer out of a shoe. That's the only way I can explain it.
Let's see,
So,
Tyler. Just so you know, Tyler Harden says that horn is dope. All right, so you got a fan.
Yeah,
You got a fan of the beer horn. All right,
that's it, man. And then so I got that. I'm a big fan of Gas Monkey. My mates went to Texas without me and got that. And then they filmed a video with one of the guys from the series. And he goes, "Oh, hi, John. Shame you're not here. We're going in for some beers and look at the cars." I was like, and then I've got my little I like NASCAR. I'm into NASCAR.
Oh, nice. Wow.
And this is from my trip to New York on Long Island. And I went to this brewery here. And they gave me so much. Okay. They gave me loads of free beer. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I've never been to England. It's sadly, I got to go have a pint over there. I've never been, so I'll get my shelf. We'll do this again. I'll have my shelf of British beer memorabilia.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I think the British we do like. Well, I like American culture. So,
what's your favorite craft beer you've had? What's your favorite American craft beer that compares to British beer?
Well, funnily enough, when I went to that Jamesport, obviously the problem we have here, the beer that we get is either like we can have Bud Light or something like that, but that's made in the UK. Exactly, yeah.
Oh, wait, so it's different. Yeah, okay.
Or you get Sam Adams or something like that, and we have a whole wealth of like craft breweries here, so you don't see it that often.
Right.
So when I went to these guys, it was obviously it was right there. We were in their tap room. We were trying it, and it was absolutely cracking.
Yeah, yeah.
And one thing that was really cool on that day that I went in, they had an English, an ESB, and I was like,
"Oh wow!"
I was like, I've never had an ESB on keg. You know, like that's unheard of. So anyway, I had it.
Was known. Red Hook's known out in Seattle is known for doing a good ESB. I think that was their original signature. But I was gonna say it's funny you mentioned Sam Adams because they are actually one of the like OG microbreweries from back in the day, like Sierra Nevada or like where I grew up in Palo Alto. I don't know if anyone remembers Pete's Wicked Ale. Let's get wicked tonight. Going way back. How far back? But
maybe back then,
a lot of people, will now sort of be like, "Oh, Sam Adams." It's like, dude, you don't know what they've gone through to make the foundation for making it. So everyone's propping up with breweries. So I'm just saying, but like, I think it's interesting. I wanted to say that like one of my favorite beers is Samuel Smith. That's my thing. Is like their nut brown ale and their organic chocolate stout is just like my two favorites of all time.
Are they from San Francisco area or where are they from?
Yorkshire, mate. Come on, Tadcasters. They're in the English brew, and so I just wanted to ask John. I wanted to ask John. See, here in the States, I got a bone to pick with all the microbreweries, and it's kind of like it's where the wind is going. It's what is popular. But I'm calling a little bit of Emperor's New Clothes because there are too many. There are a shit ton of fucking IPAs out there. And when you go to a brewery, you see 10 IPAs on tap. You see a Kolsch. You see I'm going to say in air quotes a pale ale. Not a proper English pale ale like Samuel Smith does.
Right.
And you might find a brown, but it's more like a red. Or you say, "Hey, I'm looking for a brown ale," and then they say, "Oh, have you tried the stout? Have you tried the port?" And John, I know you might not be a brown ale guy, but I know that a brown ale is very, very different than a stout or a port. It's not heavy.
Yeah.
It has similar taste, but it's light, right? Yeah. It's more so actually what's popular now is like a black lager, right? Yeah. Oakland United makes a really good black lager. So I just wanted to get your opinion on like just sort of the IPA craze and like for those that aren't into that craze, like what are things? Is there a space for those people, or are they just kind of left on the shadow? By the sideline.
The problem is in the UK, pale ale or IPA has become this massively broad term.
Yep.
So
like hazy,
it's not really. I mean, we do a proper IPA, which is it's like rocket fuel, but it didn't sell that well. It didn't sell that well, and
yeah.
they wanted lower ABV stuff. So we kind of
Really?
moved away.
Wow.
Yeah, in the UK, it's become a bit of a trend to be really sub 4%, and it was driven by the duty that we pay in the UK. So whenever, what you don't realise is in America, in the UK, when we make beer, if any of that beer goes to the public, we have to pay the duty on it, and the duty is more than it costs to make the beer. So what happens here? I know we don't make loads of money. I mean, for every barrel of beer that you say, let's say a 50-litre keg, you're probably talking £18 of that. It goes to the government. So what happened was all Molson Coors, InBev, all those guys, they started to start lowering their ABV over time so that they didn't have to pay as much duty. And people didn't notice. So they didn't notice that they were getting shortchanged on the alcohol content.
So they charge the taxes charged by the alcohol content. So the stronger the beer, the more tax. Well, I actually noticed that. I was taking a look at some of your beers. I actually noticed that there was a lot of session IPA, a lot of session ales, a lot of like you said, under 4%. I was wondering because I was going to ask you, what is like the highest alcohol percentage beer that you guys at Lord's Brewing make? Because I just noticed they were all super low.
Yeah, we do one called the Grand, which is 7.5%. And the reason it's 7.5% is because if you go over 7.5%, like 7.6 or 7.8, the duty doubles.
Wow, because I'm one of those. That's so interesting. That's crazy to me because I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those craft beer guys who's really looking for the ABV. Like I'm really looking at like, oh yeah, we actually call that beer math here at Beer Goals. So it's like there's like a formula you have.
You don't want to do math while you're drinking, man.
It's beer math. It's beer math, Sam. It's how much does the beer cost versus what is the alcohol content. So if you get like a 7% beer, but it's only $4 a pint, that's pretty good. Or, if it's like, say it's even
dude, if you want the bang for your buck, just go Steel Reserve, brother. Steel Reserve, brother. Come on, man. You want to get down and dirty in the street.
I have no idea what that is.
Steel Reserve is like,
you don't want to know. They don't
malt, some cheap malt liquor. Like, it's fucking really potent. It's like, drinking turpentine or something. You know what I mean?
We have one called Special Brew.
Yeah, it's like a 40 ounce. You know what I mean? It's like one of those like 40 ounces. But I mean, when I think of like high, the classic like high ABV, I'm a little dyslexic. Yeah. I get that acronym.
ABV, alcohol by volume.
Is Fin de Mon. That's the classic, right? Fin de Mon, which I bought. I had to buy one of those during this pandemic. I'm like, if it's really the end of the world, I gotta get a Fin de Mon, right? You guys know about the Fin de Mon, right? And then the other one is Delirious Tremens, right?
Oh, that's delicious. Yeah.
Which I think is like 13%.
Yeah, 12, 13.
Another Belgian beer. It's the one with the pink elephants on it and a white.
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen that before. Yeah.
That's a good question. What's the highest ABV beer you guys have ever? I love asking this question.
Well, there's the barley wine from Sierra Nevada. I think that's like 15% or something, right?
15, I've had that as well.
Yeah.
I think
I've had a
Bigfoot.
I'm trying to think
15 is probably the highest I've had. Yeah.
I've been given some weird stuff over the years. So, whenever you go and see your mates at another brewery, there's always that bottle without a label on, and they go, "Here, try that," and then you regret it when you get about halfway down and you think, "What have they just given me?" So I've had all sorts of stuff. I dread to think what ABV some of it is, but yeah, right, it'll be right up there. I know that. So I'll tell you what, just in the chat on the side here. So there's a guy there called Glenn Lewis.
Yes, Glenn.
Shout out, Glenn.
Yes.
How we doing? So
awesome.
he comes to our little quiz on YouTube, and he's from Barbados.
Yes. Yeah, he introduced us. Glenn's been a big supporter of Beer Goals. He's been supporting in the Beer Goals group. So everybody say cheers to Glenn in Barbados.
Cheers to Glenn.
Cheers,
from California and UK to the beers of Barbados and to Glenn Lewis.
Yay!
All right.
My cat's jumping on my lap here. Cheers to Glenn. I actually have a toast that everyone can do if they repeat after me. You can repeat after me at home if you guys don't mind.
Uh-oh.
It's something I learned in when I was in Spain, and I will do it in Spanish and then translate because it's fairly straightforward Spanish. But for those of you that don't, habla español. All right, so everyone, raise your drink. Nunca arriba, never above you.
Nuka,
Arab.
never above you.
You can just say it in English. Nunca arriba, never above you.
Never above you.
Nunca abajo, never below you.
Nuka abajo, never below
abajo.
you.
Siempre al lado,
Siempre
Siempre
al lado.
lado.
always beside you.
Always beside you.
Cheers.
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 So yeah,
We
that's
just
what I
summoned
always
the
think. You know, because like everyone's doing their own thing. You know, you probably have a little, healthy competition with other breweries in your area. Are you in London specifically, or what town are you in?
We're in a place called Huddersfield. So we're in
Okay.
a little but we're in a little village on the outskirts called Golka,
Okay.
which is near a place called Bolstermoor.
Oh,
Yeah, and they do great pork pies, just so you know.
I love them.
And
Yeah.
we're in an old mill that was built I think the original mill was built in the 1500s,
Okay.
and then it's been added on to. So what we're
That's
in
awesome.
now, it was built in the Industrial Revolution. So our actual mill is where we are is hundreds of years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like being in an old creaky boat though, because it leaks. It leaks water when it rains. It's freezing cold.
Is it named after an old wooden ship?
Well, it should be. It should be.
That's my Ron Burgundy impersonation.
It's called Heath House Mills.
Hey,
Actually, I have a question, John, about the taps, because I've seen people in Beer Goals group post like pictures of the like where they're drinking, before when we could go to bars, and there'd always be the taps. Like the people in England would have these taps, and they would have like a card on it with like all the information for the beer. Like it would have like the ABV, the brewer, like all the stuff you'd basically find on Untapped. And we don't have that here in America. And I'm jealous. And I'm jealous because that's so cool, because I'm obsessed, obviously, as a beer reviewer, and like I'm always logging my beers. And I'm like, yeah, those things. What is that? Is that a thing? Is that law? Like, do you have to have those on the taps? Because I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I want those for every beer. I want to know exactly what I'm drinking. I want to know the whole deal. So
the thing is, you've got to put the ABV on. But what happened was, it looks massive on there, but
yeah, it's like a coaster.
They've got bigger and bigger as time has gone on. So basically, when this goes on the pump, it's your advert to the world of what you do. So it tells them about the brand. It tells you what you do.
Sure.
This one here says on it chocolate orange porter.
Then
right underneath it says dark, luxurious, cocoa.
Oh man!
So you know what you're buying.
I so want to drink that right now.
That sounds like one of those chocolate oranges, that you smash and all the slices.
That's what I thought of. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Dude, Sam, totally. Like I get those at Christmas. Like you smash them and then like
that actually reminds me. I wanted to shout out another local brewery, town I grew up in, Palo Alto. The Palo Alto Brewing Company. My buddy literally just bought this local bar and eventually started the brewery. It's just an awesome story of like how you can achieve your dreams just if you just keep at it and like do your own thing. But anyways.
Didn't you get a beer named after you?
Did the California Crusher? They made a filter out of me, and they wanted to bottle it. And I'm like, hey, you might throw out a little, finder's fee. It's like because I gave them one of my photos for it, so they're awesome. Using my image. So no hard feelings, Hopefully we'll work that out. But the story is they make a coconut porter, a chocolate coconut porter. And that reminds me of that one. It doesn't have the orange in it, but very similar. And they also have one not related to that, but just as a funny note, one, you should look it up. Everyone online, go and look at Palo Alto Brewing Company. They have one called the Hoppy Ending. And so
that's classic. I always
get the ending.
Yeah.
And so the imagery of that is literally like a caricature of a hop on a massage table, and this chick like rubbing him down, hoppy ending, right? For all you
We've posted that many times on Beer Goals. Yeah, it's a very funny image. Yeah, so, that's awesome, man. You know the guy. Cheers
it's awesome if you're watching.
Hoppy ending Palo Alto Brewing of California.
And hopefully you guys, John, Lord's Brewing and Palo Alto Brewing, all these other breweries can connect. If you want to connect later, I can try to
yeah.
The breweries in Oakland in the Bay Area. So just let me know. I mean, I think that kind of thing needs to happen more. So
we'd really like to. We asked Jamesport, but they just never got back to us. But the idea was, we come up with a recipe, and then we fly our brewers out to their place to make it, and then we make one there, and then we fly all the brewers back to the other one and make it at our brewery, and then sell obviously both the brews. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
That sounds amazing. Beer the world together. Yeah.
And I see a little video documentation happening through all this.
Yeah, there you go.
Post it on your YouTube. See how this is going, I'll post it on your YouTube. We'll work out an arrangement later off camera, but we got to document this and put it to your social thread, right?
It's all you just got to have fun with it. I mean, one of the things we do. We're only a little tiny brewery. We're not massive at all, but
that's awesome.
we really like to just do unusual stuff and push the envelope of what's normal. So I'm on Glyn as well. We're on all the live feeds on YouTube, all the different people. We're chatting on there. We're supporting them as well. And then this is how this has happened. So
that's awesome. Cheers. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did do you guys watch Top Gear?
A little bit sometimes,
I've actually worked with the floor manager for that show.
Okay, so
Neil. No, not Neil. Sorry, Stan. I'm blanking on his name now. I have to look him up on Facebook.
It's okay.
No. So great show.
Yeah. So James May, who now does the Amazon Prime version, does this thing called Mail Time on YouTube, where he opens up all your mail that you send him. So we sent him some beer, and then a few weeks later, we're down talking to James May in London. So
that's awesome.
And this is the thing: you just got to take a risk and put yourself out there.
That's
and
right.
just talk to people. That's literally it. And
that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
and just make up weird stuff. That's what Beer Goals is about. Like, we're trying to come up with different weird beer goals. Like, I have a beer goal. I'm drinking 50 beers in each state, 2,550 across America. We're trying to come up with different crazy things. Wow. Like, we want to do beer bowling, which we're actually going to do beer can bowling on Zoom. Is a new thing. Breaking news. That's a new beer goal that we're working on. We had the beer pillow this year that was
I saw that.
Yeah, people around the world were shooting the beer. Oh yeah, we had beer face mask. So we should have we should have America England exchange program of beer where we get everybody together. We'll have them on a Zoom. I'm just riffing here. We'll have them on a Zoom call. Everybody exchanges beer. We mail it. We try each other's beer.
That's cool. We'd love to do that. Yeah, we do struggle to get beer out to America, though.
Yeah.
The shippers are just a nightmare.
I bet.
And there's loads of laws.
Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I think
it's properly illegal.
Properly illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be. Yeah, there needs to be a way to ship it, just booze shipping. That'd be a good business model.
I tried to send some to Utah, and that was being a Mormons. Oh my gosh! I nearly got it. I nearly got it handed to me, man. It was pretty close, but we got there.
That brings up. I wanted to mention that brings up. Speaking of shipping beer, I think I showed you guys this. You heard about the dogs in New York. Here, I'm going to throw this up right now. So there's New York puppies delivered beer to their lockdown neighbors, and I actually have the news article here. I don't know if you guys saw this. I thought this was hysterical. They actually have this brewery out in Long Island has puppies delivering beer, so New Yorkers can rest easy at home as their beer cravings will be attended to by two adorable dogs who deliver Six Harbors Brewing in Long Island, New York. It's Buddy and Barley. Barley is one of the dogs. The couple behind a popular beer delivery service. So they're actually they're taking beer from the car. They have a delivery truck pulls up, and then the dogs get out, and it's total social distancing safe because there's no humans involved, and the dogs don't have the virus. So the dogs take the beer and march it over to the people who ordered their beer. So there you go, John. That could be a good idea for Lord's Brewing. like she's
Well, yeah.
dog delivery.
I'm just totally allergic to him. So
Oh no!
I'm,
You gotta do
dying.
cats. You gotta use cats then.
I'm
you
even
know?
worse for cats.
Oh,
I tell you what,
Delivering
Turtle?
beer is kind of rough. Am I right,
Yeah.
guys?
It's got to be a drone now. It's now got to be a drone. You got to use a drone. You can't get away
Yeah.
from it. I like that. I mean, I don't know if you could tell, but you know, the golden retriever picture you saw in there, that's my spirit animal. So
Yeah.
Nice. When I stayed in New Ireland, what's wrong with me? Just like to say it's 2 a.m. here.
It is 2
And I've
a.m.
been up
Thank
all
you for
day.
being
burn
here.
it. We call that burning the midnight oil.
Oh man. I went to Long Island. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, went to Long Island. There was we were meant to go to Six Harbors Brewery. That was the closest one, and for whatever reason, it got changed because we went to a moonshine place.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it got changed.
That sounds like it could be more of a fun night. Like you can get it sort of like.
Then we ended up here, so it worked out well. But I would have liked to have gone to Six Harbors.
Oh wow! Well,
it's just
they're innovative.
To go back.
Honestly, a beer goal that I have is to actually train dogs to like get your beer. Like actually, you know, they always have those videos like, oh, the dog's like going to fetch a beer. There should be like a training school. Like one of our beer goals should be like, okay, we're gonna take your normal dog, like you have a little Chihuahua, you have like a pug, and we're gonna train him how to specifically. He's not gonna be able to sit. He's gonna poop all over the carpet, but he's gonna go to your fridge and get your beer and bring it to you while you sit on the couch.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if you could pop the lid as well.
Yeah. Pop it open.
I mean, he's got stronger teeth, right? Just just like,
yeah.
I think it's a really nice thing that they did that. I think that's really cool. And see, that right there is brilliant guerrilla marketing, because what they've done is they've taken an idea, and that's all over the news. That I saw that in the UK.
Oh wow, yeah, that's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they're advertising that they will have got off the back of that. That is what you need to be doing in this time.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
That reminds me of the story in Portland. I don't know if you heard that a strip club started doing food delivery and
I saw that.
It was like curbside, like drive-through
curbside pickup. Yeah,
you could drive through, and there's like an enclosed area that just like strip for you while you stay in your car. And then they'd also, like, if you wanted to order, they'd like Grubhub your food essentially. You know what I mean? They'd be like, like Mute Hub. I don't know what you call it.
We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do for Lord's Brewing. We'll do that. Except it'll be Sam who'll come out.
Yeah, I'll be like.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah.
Oh man.
You don't want to see these guns, okay?
All right.
Friendly
So speaking of animals and bears, I don't know if you saw this bear in Tennessee broke into a Tennessee cabin and he stole beer and snacks, which is pretty crazy. This is like something I would do after a couple of beers. So according the intruder made his way with the haul. He got Reese's peanut butter cups, some M&Ms, some Sour Patch Kids, some potato chips, a couple Diet Cokes, and 2 cans of beer out of the refrigerator before he was caught. So look at him there. He's got his beer. He's on his way.
I like it. Why not? Eh? I mean, I like the thing. Yeah. What's amazing is he was clearly concerned about his figure because he took those 2 Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
He was like, well, I need a lot of sugar. Maybe not that much. I'm just
yeah. It doesn't say what kind of beer it is. Maybe it was like a light beer. Like he stole. It's a Tennessee. He probably stole like a Miller Lite. He got looking nice. So he's like, yeah, I don't want to get. I like that. He was concerned about his figure.
I mean, like, come on, like you got to know that, like, even a baby bear can drink like a handle of whiskey and not even get drunk, right?
Yeah.
I mean, bears could probably just chug a full keg and then, like, still do beer math.
Still do beer math.
I think of all the animals that I am most scared of, it's bears.
Yeah.
You have bears they
can outdrink you.
All died off. No, they're all extinct.
We turned them all into rugs, so we don't have any anymore. So we don't have any. But my wife went to Romania a good few years ago, and they were staying in these cabins, and she said you could hear the bears at night wandering around. I was like, There is no way you could pay me all the money in the world to go somewhere where there's bears walking around outside. Not happening.
Right, so our good friend Glenn says Yogi Bear and beer. More like Yogi Beer, am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Terrifying.
Yogi Beer. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, that's why you gotta lock down your sandwiches and your 6-packs in the cabin. I don't know.
I'd have to have a big gun if I went for a walk.
Yeah.
My gosh, I don't know how you guys do it, honestly.
Well, I do have to say there is another beer tie-in. So in Northern California, in a little town called Boonville, which is close to Mendocino, kind of coastal redwoods, like Humboldt County area, south of Humboldt County. But they have a beer called the Boone Amber Ale. I'm trying to upload the picture to the comment section so everyone can see. But it's a beer. Their mascot is a bear with antlers, with deer antlers. So when you mix a bear with a deer, you get beer.
Nice.
That's well cool.
I don't know if Sam's having a beer over there or what, but
oh yeah, baby.
You've got some catching up to do. This is a Pilsner we did with a local tailor's called Owen Scott, which is there.
Oh wow, okay.
And do you know? Oh, I've forgotten his name now. Irish cage fighting guy.
Conor McGregor.
Yes. So you know his suit with the
rude words, fighters, brother.
You know the suit with the rude words on that he had made. Those guys made it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this beer's been in a lot of famous, UK famous people's hands. So it's
awesome.
It's a good Pilsner, and it's done traditionally with proper Czech Pilsner yeast.
I love that. What's the oddest like beer tie-in like so you said it was the guy that does the fighters code. So like what's like we have like Metallica beer, like Metallica did a beer with Stone Brewing. Like I was always trying to think, it's always like really interesting, there's like all these weird like beer tie-ins and like all the fans go out and buy it. Like what's like the oddest like brand crossover like kind of thing?
Well, funny you should say that because I have something on my desk in a box.
That looks like a cool box. Look at that.
It's got a little logo, and in here, are you ready for this?
Wait, the ring with the hot wax. Is that how you sealed it?
That's it. Right. So have a guess. What do you think it could be?
A Pulp Fiction, because like it's like the box and like you open it up and it's like with the.
I'm gonna say liquid hot magma.
A candle.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, it's like a beer. It's like a beer scented candle.
It's a beer scented candle.
Right. That's awesome.
Don't burn that in your car. You get a DUI. You get pulled over for drinking.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. So what is that scent? Which one is that scent?
This one is it's hops. It's got it's got the same hops that we use in one of our beers. And it's a local lady who makes candles. They're really good. Wow. They're quite high quality. And she said, "Oh, can I make a candle with you guys?" So I was like, "Yeah, why not?"
Sounds amazing.
And
it actually smell good? Like it smells good? Like it's actually like it smells just like like the brewery, or it's like.
Well, it smells. It's really. She's done it. It's quite a manly scent, but it's not overpowering.
Sure.
But my wife saw me bring this in today, and she went, "Are we going to keep that?" And I was like,
"Yeah."
I was like, "Well, I was only going to show it to these guys and then put it back in stock." And she was like,
"She's like, get through
the other one's gone." She really likes it. So the fact that she likes it, and she's a beauty therapist. Well, she was. She's a teacher now, teaching assistant. So it must be good. So, and we've done quite well with them. So
it smells better. What's that? Gwyneth Paltrow has a candle made after something.
But I think that's the weirdest crossover I think we've ever done.
That's pretty good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I was thinking beer tie. I like that though. The beer candle. I would. You know what? I would do a beer candle because then it makes you, especially now. Like we could have these drinking buddies chats, or online drinking with everybody. You put that on, it smells like you're at the brewery, and you get a vibe, you get some good tunes going, you have good conversation like we are here tonight, and then it feels like you're really at a bar at a brewery. Like that would be fun. So you can move a lot of those candles, I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what they're doing here quite a bit is they're getting like beer bottle shop, can shops to do like a mixed box of stuff.
Yeah.
And then everybody's got the same. And then you all go on live chat like this, and then you drink them together.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, they're doing virtual beer festivals. I think there's one here, Los Angeles Virtual Beer Festival. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's actually kind of the same experience, like $30. You order it, a box arrives, and then you drink the beers. So, yeah, it's like that's another innovative way that breweries are keeping up with everything going on. So, definitely cheers to that.
Yeah,
Support
you got it.
Breweries, check that out.
You got to stay innovative and sort of adapt to the times. I mean, that's really where it's at. Like, I'm basically going all in with my YouTube creation because I was working, a lot of beer consumption happens at live sports. So I was basically a broadcast technician, doing camera work, audio work, and live sports. And I kind of dabbled in my viral media, network videos on the side. But now that I'm not working there, I'm all in, baby. So you got to adapt. You got to adapt to the times. And a lot of people are watching video. A lot of people are doing these live streams. So hopefully, Lords, you guys can capitalize on that and some other, innovative sort of online ways of, hosting. I personally think, hey, why don't you, I don't know, are they doing the 6 feet thing in London, in England?
Yeah.
So all you do is you get a plexiglass grid, 6 feet,
That's good.
6 feet, and you just kind of like put it down like waffle style in your patio or in your bar, and you just kind of like, it'll be sort of like peep show sort of vibe, but it's all clear. It's all
but
clear
instead a brewer comes out, instead John comes out like, hey, have a beer.
We're starting to do like about these restaurants that are starting to do like little pod
that's what
tables like that. Like, I don't know, like, is that what's going to be? It's like, here's your beer, now go drink it in this shed. It's like, hey, that's what I did in high school. You know what I mean?
That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Just find a load of little sheds.
They love sheds.
Putting them inside. You can have shed number 1.
Yeah, but it's like a tiny brewery. It's a tiny brewery in each shed. Like you get the full brewery experience, but you're isolated. Wow, it's
gotta
sad
have a
and amazing
bartender
at the same time.
with hipster beer, right? Hipster beer.
Yeah, you pay extra for a bartender. Well, speaking of which, some breweries, this other story we got here. So a brewery in Western Germany is giving away their unsold beers. So we were talking about this, and John, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. We were talking about this the other week, that they had all these beers brewed, all the kegs went out to like sporting events and stuff like that. And they didn't know what to do with it, so all these beers are going to go to waste. So some breweries are actually giving it away for free, and like, I don't know. To me, I'm like, we should be drinking the beer. We should be picking it up. We should be drinking it. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you're not gonna like this idea. So this is in Germany, and so it was the Villinger Brauhaus in Hesse opted to give away 2.6 liters of light and dark beer this week. 2,600. I'm sorry, 2,600 liters of light and dark beer this week. Hoping that everybody would then, become a fan and like come back and drink their beers. I can see John's face. He's like, this is a terrible idea. Like, please don't. But I mean, I think it's an interesting way. So they're trying to turn it into like a marketing ploy to like, hey, like, come check. We're going to give you beer. We have to get rid of it anyway. It's going to go bad. So drink it. And then when things return back to normal, come drink our beer. So
I think it's a great idea. It wouldn't work in the UK because we're not any beer that goes to the public. We still have to pay the duty. So it's cheaper for us to pour it down the drain than it is to give it away. If we give it away,
all you got to do is just be in that drain so you can drink the beer. You just got to chill in the drain,
I remember I went to a thing here locally in LA. It was like this local area had like a thing where they were giving away booze, but it was a legal thing too. You couldn't technically give booze out for free, but so they had this like little jar, like leave a penny, take a penny. So if you moved the penny from one thing to another, they're like, oh, hey, thank you for the penny, and they would like give you the booze.
Donation.
So all I'm saying is to get around those laws, maybe say have a leave a penny, take a penny jar. and the people just like, oh, here's your penny, sir. Thank you for the trough of beer that you're giving me.
It's not about we'd still because it's on ABV. We'd still have to pay it.
Oh man,
It sucks. And see, the UK government, they're not going to let you get away with that.
Oh man,
so get this: we pay tax on everything we buy, which is 20%.
Yeah.
Then the only thing we don't pay tax on is the actual grain because it's classed as food. Then we make it, and then we pay duty on it, and then it goes out, and we have to charge VAT on it, which is another 20%. And then if we make a profit at the end of the year, then we then have to pay capital gains tax as well.
So this is crazy, but is this only for microbreweries? Like, do big companies like, say, Samuel Smith or Carlsberg? Is Carlsberg? No, Carlsberg isn't brewing.
Yeah, Carlsberg.
Or like, like those big. Is it just like a microbrew thing where they're trying to like only? Is it like a like a kind of a monopoly thing?
No, to be fair, the bigger breweries that brew in the UK pay double what we do.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So that's why their ABVs are so low,
right?
To make up for the double cost. They hate us because.
So is it just like all the Englishmen are just lightweights because their ABV is so low, and like us in the States, we're just like.
Well, they used to take the mick. They used to take the mick out of the Americans, going, "Oh yeah, their beer's really light and weak and all this." And now it's flips. It's completely different now.
Wow, yeah, wow.
It's only the craft beer guys that are really making proper good beer.
Yeah.
So why is this? Why are all these costs associated? Like, is it a political thing? Like, is Boris Johnson just like being like, "Yeah, I'm getting fat off this fucking shit"? Like, what is it?
It's been as long as I can remember, when we have the budget every year, where the Chancellor comes out and tells you what is going to cost what, they always tax the beer. They always
put
a penny on
Yeah. Every time. We're against beer taxes.
It sort of gets slipped under the rug. It's just sort of like,
Yeah, and the same with fuel. I mean, the fuel here it can be so expensive.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah,
it's mental. So we get taxed upon tax. When I went to New York, I could not believe the amount of disposable income that you guys had out there. I was shocked. I was
like, we got a lot of cheap crap to buy, John. We got a lot of cheap crap to buy out here.
Oh my god!
We got to start a political movement where it's no tax. With the only thing we care about is beer.
You think Amazon is successful, right? I
mean, that's the only thing we care about.
Amazon's whole beer party is on disposable income. Okay.
I think I'm a hillbilly. I genuinely think that I'm probably a redneck because I went to New York. I could have hired anything. I hired a Chevy Silverado.
That's awesome.
With the biggest engine I could find. That's great. Then I drove around playing, what's it called now? Hillbilly Deluxe and some other country tracks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wearing a trucker's hat
in New York. That's an American experience, man. That's
I look nothing like anybody else. You can see people looking at me like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Well, cheers to that. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a great time. Regardless, that sounds like a great time.
Oh yeah.
Well, woo! I'm almost done with my beer, so
me too, man.
You guys. So, well, thank you guys so much. This has been amazing. So, John, I was just going to say, anything else you guys have going on that you wanted to while you're here? Any new beer releases coming up?
Yeah. Well, we've released this one here called Handbook Session IPA.
Nice.
And this one is done with a chill hop artist. You know, I said we did one with a chill hop artist in New York.
Oh yeah.
And this guy, look him up. He's called Brock Berrigan. Wicked tracks. 500,000 people listen to him on Spotify every month.
Oh, wow.
And this chap is the British version, based in New York. And this beer actually has its own track called Pride Before the Fall.
Oh, that's amazing. He wrote a song. You guys released the beer, and he wrote a song about the beer.
Yeah.
That's
Kind of
awesome.
like the
That's
Tiger
great.
thing, you know.
That's a great tie-in. I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, so if you
That is
hear
really
the
cool.
track, The Pride Before the Fall, just picture yourself sat in the garden. I think that's probably a Cali sunset on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I was gonna say that doesn't. That's
So-
a traditional UK sunset there with the palm trees.
Will you
That's
post
it, yeah.
Will you post a link to that song so we can all listen to it? I don't know, either in the comments
Yeah, I wonder if
or
I can do that.
Yeah, when we're done, post it in the comments. That'd be cool.
yeah.
Let me see if I can work out how to do
That's
it.
great. Yeah. No, that reminds me of, speaking of breweries. I mean, they're kind of big now, but the Hawaiian brewery, Kona Brewery. If you guys know
Yeah, I
Kona
think they
Brewery,
got bought out. Yeah.
but they got
They're
great
always pretty
stuff.
good,
I
though.
mean,
Yeah.
the Big Wave IPA, it's kind of like a Belgian. I really like the Fire Rock because it's kind of like that. It's got a little bit of hop taste. It's kind of like that amberish, it's got like that bronzy, thing. But I remember being out there in Hawaii and going to that brew pub and just like, it's just like great. You get a little buzz on and you're right by the beach,
Yeah. That's the best.
So,
I'm
Can't
being
wait to get back to
I'm
that
being a
one.
technophobe here because I cannot work out where to post this.
I think
you gotta
post
go
it for
on
everybody
to the
later.
live. Yeah, you can post it later, or you just go on to
Yeah.
No,
the
that's not
Facebook Live and then post it in the comments.
Okay.
We'll do it. We'll
Oh,
post
hang
it.
on,
We'll
hang on.
post
I found something.
it.
Positive.
Don't worry, I'll fill the void. I'll vamp here for a
There you
second.
go.
So I'm gonna do some plugs if I
Do it
don't
up,
mind.
Sam. All right.
Yeah,
Sam,
do it, man.
I don't know if
Oh,
you
here we
can
go.
still see it. You see this gong in the background here? It's a little messy because this is like my wife's working. It's our attic, but this is where she resells her stuff. So on eBay or Cherish, that's the chair you sit in, cherish.com. It's the dark dish. She sells vintage goods. Great
That's
stuff
awesome.
to check out. So if you want to buy that gong, it's from the late 1800s. Okay.
Wow.
She's got other good stuff, mainly dishware and fashion and stuff like that. But she always finds these, random stuff. And it's just a really awesome, like, craft. Speaking of craft, not craft brewery, but,
I like the
handmade.
tie-in. I like what you did there.
Hey, I always
That
got
was
to segue,
good.
baby. I'm a broadcaster, so
I
it's
love-
like, the segue is what it's all
I
about.
like
So.
it, man. It's all about the segues. Now it's the beer shopping channel. I like it. Let's do it. Let's move some product here today.
Hey man,
All right.
I'm not a brewer. I drink a lot of beer, but I also, me and my wife were trying to, have that kind of like financial independence of like, multiple revenue streams and just being able
dig
to
it.
like content creators and, she sells online and that's the new move, especially in this whole pandemic thing. It's
for
like
beer money.
you got to create. Yeah, exactly. You got to create your own
Gotta get
reality.
the beer money. You
And
gotta get the beer money
for our
somehow.
kids, right? We want to create that future for our
Beer
kids.
money
It's
for the
like,
children.
we don't have to
I like
work.
it.
We don't have to work for anyone else. We can create our own reality and sustain ourselves with our own talents and skills, right? And that's what you guys are doing. That's what Beer Goals is doing. You guys are creating your own, your own unique vision and voice with Beer Goals, and Lord's Brewery is doing their thing. There's no one telling you what to do. The three of you running
Right.
Lord's Brewery,
That's
right?
right.
You guys are telling yourself what to do, and that's what this is all
Yeah.
about. It's all about independence.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about entrepreneurship. And it's
Yeah.
all about getting fucking wasted. Ah!
All right. On that note, I want to thank you guys. I think my internet's about to delete itself, but thank you so much. Thank you, Sam, my good buddy Sam. I look forward to talking to you soon. John,
Nice to
thank
meet
you
you,
so
Sam.
much.
Nice to
Thank
meet you
so
too,
much.
Johnny.
Hashtag
Cheers.
beer the world together. Thank you so much, everybody. Go check out, everybody in England, go check out Lord's Brewing, and I hope to try some Lord's Brewing soon. Thank you so much. Best of luck to your brewery.
Thank you.
And all right, everybody, check out Viral Media Network and Lord's Brewing.
I want to
All right.
come out and see you guys at some point. Next, when this
Oh, yeah, man.
lockdown's all done, I'm coming out and I'm gonna come and see you guys.
We'll go on a pub crawl in Oakland, and I'll get you so wasted. We're gonna see Tupac's ghost. Okay.
That would be a good name for a craft beer. Tupac's Ghost would be
Oh,
a great
that's
name
a
for
great
a
name.
California
That's a
craft
great
beer.
name for a beer.
So yeah.
All right.
So, respect.
All right, cheers, guys. Beer the world together.
Let's
Cheers, guys.
go.
Woo!
Cheers, everybody. Enjoy.
All right.
Thanks, Phil. Be well.
Woo! Cheers.
You guys.